What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I am Craig, and we're going to be going over the charts as usual. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones first, then we're going to go into the DXY. As you guys know, on this channel, we keep an eye on the markets as a whole, not just in the tunnel vision of Bitcoin, because you need to see what's going on with the rest of the markets. They kind of all form together and create a scenario which we track on this channel, and we've been doing a hell of a job of it for the last year. If you've been around, well, actually 2 years, we've been calling this whole market structure, we call the fake bull run, pump after the 29 dip, all that stuff. So definitely, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. Also, I've gotten emails saying people aren't getting notified of the video, so make sure you smash that notification bell. Also, along with the thumbs up, and leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the video and share it. Get this info out. So the Dow Jones, we've been watching this lower high in the price action, higher high in the RSI, that is hidden bearish divergence. But we've been talking about this possible trend line here on the RSI showing a possibility of one more push to the upside. Now, if we were to get that right now, that would probably get us to retest this high around 33.2, which would still be hidden bearish divergence. We could get all the way up to that 34,000 and still be hidden bearish divergence. But what I want to talk about is if we do break this and the traditional markets go up and start soaring towards a new all-time high, then possibly the bottom is in for Bitcoin. But I do not think that. You guys know my macro view. If you want the long version, check out yesterday's video. This one's going to be a little shorter, and we're going to get into the smaller time frames on Bitcoin also. So these are my targets for the Dow as of now. Of course, gets invalidated if we break this 34,000 range. But let's take a look at the DXY. DXY is looking bullish here. In the 4 hour, it actually looks like a bull flag forming here. If so, we break this high of 106.56. My next stop is going to be this 107.4 area, which is this old high. But if we break up out of that, obviously we'll be continuing to higher highs. I don't see this holding as resistance again. We'll probably break much higher. I have a target somewhere around the 112, but this could take a long time. Let's take a look at Parabola here. You can see here we drew this in. We got a perfect bounce out in here. Now, if the DXY breaks down below this, and that would have to break the, as of right now, the 105. If we break down below there, then we may see a pump in the markets, may see a pump in Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. So on the higher time frames, the monthly, our resistance level is still this 55 EMA around 24,560. So unless we have a monthly candle open and close above that, there's no reason to be bearish on the month or bullish on the monthly, right? Let's take a look at the weekly. So where is our resistance on the weekly? Well, our first resistance is this 8 EMA. If you guys don't know already, I like to use the 8, 13, 21, 55, and 200 EMAs. They're based on Fibonacci levels. That's why I use them. And if you'll notice, they often show signs of major support and resistance all through the whole everything. But let's continue. Sorry, I got on a little tangent there. But anyways, so looking at this as a rising broadening wedge, possibly another bear flag, like we had the one up here. We had this rising channel. The measured move of that got us down to our target here, and then we created another bear flag. What happened after that? Once it broke, boom, got us down to our next target. And if this one breaks, so this would be the area to look for a short, especially on the weekly chart. According to the weekly chart, would be somewhere between a break. If we broke this week around 19,960, we break below that this week, then we start looking for our lower targets. We're going to look at the smaller time frame and look at this 17.5. I have something very interesting to show you on that. But what would the measured move be? This took about 2 weeks. Once it broke, would be around the 76.2. I think that is a possibility, but I think that if we see this level is going to be around November or December. And I talked about that a lot in previous videos. Actually, yesterday's video, I went into more detail about what I think this will be, or why I think this will be a false bottom if we do hit it. Go check that out if you haven't already. But let's take a look at this target here. Would just be a measured move, looking at this as a rising broadening wedge and coming down. Now this raises if it doesn't break till next week, and that would get it to around 14.5. Now let's take a look at the 4-day. So the 4-day, you can see this trend line in here where we got rejected perfectly. Right now on the 4-day chart, we have 1 day left. Unless we break above and open and close a candle above this 24/7, I still remain bearish here in the macro to come to the downside. Now, 1 hour chart. So this is the market structure that we've been tracking forever, and it has been playing out perfectly. We called this top. This is when I made the Amazon Bitcoin comparison chart on December 2nd, before anybody was talking about it. You can check it out on my YouTube page. But then we had our measured move target once we broke this rising broadening wedge of the 24.3 to 24.5 range, which now is major daily resistance. So unless we start opening and closing daily candles above this, there is no reason to be bullish, in my opinion, on the macro. Now, if we start closing daily candles above the 24.3 to 24.5, at least one daily candle open and close, at least above that range, then possibly start looking for the 32,000 range, which actually would be lower, around 31,000, which would be confluent with all of this congestion here and here. But I don't personally think that's going to happen. I drew this in showing you what I think is the possibility of what is to happen here. Now, like I said, we're going to be checking out a very interesting 4-hour chart, 2 4-hour charts here in a minute. And I'm going to show you what had happened with each one of these lows here that everybody thought was the bottom. They thought this was the bottom at 32.5 because of this little rally. And then they thought this was the bottom at 25.350 because of this little rally. And now they think this is the bottom because of this little rally. We keep seeing the same stuff over and over, right? So I drew this in about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, of what I'm looking for as a possibility. Maybe come down and retest this 17.5, 17.7, bounce around for a little while before breaking. Once we break that, my next target's around 76. But if you take a look at the length of this, that is putting that there sometime in November or December. So it's not a straight line, although it could be. And that's what we're going to look at on the 4-hour. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out PrimeXBT. They don't trade against you. You can have multiple trades in, longs and short at the same time. So you can scalp over here, swing trade over here without switching to different accounts, all on one account. You can trade gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, Forex, altcoins, everything, all from one exchange. Definitely check them out. And you can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. SAVVY25 will get you 25% off your fees. So let's take a look at this here. You can see these blue lines I have in here. These were the lows that people thought the bottom were in, right? You can see what happened right here. Everybody was screaming this was the bottom. We actually on this channel called the top here at 48K also. Told everybody he was putting in a short there, which I did. I actually closed that short down around 17.5, right around this area. Now that was because we didn't see what was going on, right? So let's take a look at what happened. So this was everybody, 33,000 is going to hold. That was the bottom. That's what you heard that this whole time up here. Everybody got super bullish again, right? This is how markets work. And that's the reasoning behind this channel. And that's the reasoning we track. So if you're just watching my videos and just catching little glimpses and not paying attention to the big picture, you're probably not going to learn anything. You need to pay attention. And if people ask me, why don't you do courses? Because traders that actually make money don't do courses because they make money trading. When you buy courses, you're buying someone's bad habits. The reason they're selling courses is because they're not a successful trader. So they make money by selling people their bad habits. So be careful with that stuff. Anyways, we had this low here. Everybody thought it was going to bounce. Boom, broke right through. Same thing. Then we zoom out. We come to right here. This was that 25.5 level where we were expecting a bounce. That was a target we had since November. And we got our bounce, right? So after this, everybody's extremely bullish up here. And just to break through, once we broke this, we hit our next target, which was just, let me show you, which was just measuring this as the bear flag, or the flagpole, this being the bear flag. Whoops, sorry. We're looking at this over here. And this target hit almost exactly where we expected, that 17.5 range, right? So if we were to get the same type thing, then we're looking at the $75,000 to $8,000 level, $7,500 to $8,000 level. But what happened at this low where everybody was calling the bottom again because of this little rally? Everybody thought it was going to hold. 24.5 broke right through it. It never even made it all the way back up there to test it, right? Actually, I'm sorry, 25.5. So same thing we have right here. Now everybody's saying this is going to hold, guaranteed to hold, right? And that even I'm saying there's possibly get a bounce, a nice big bounce here once we do get to this levels. Now I'm not saying it's going to happen in a day. It's obviously probably going to take some time. We have to break this range first between this 20, if we were to go straight down today, which is unlikely, but 20,200 to, depending on where we hit it, if it was in the next few weeks, could be up as high as, 21,002. But we're going to be watching this bottom trend line. This is going to be a great area to short if we break this for a longer swing trade, right? So if we do break there, obviously we look for the 17.5 for a bounce. If we do get a bounce there, we possibly come back up and retest this trend line before continuing down, right? So let's take a look at one more thing before we go into the next 4-hour chart and take a look at what's going on. So right here, we broke our first low, this one that they thought was the bottom. How far did we go below that? We went down 23, almost 24%. And then we did the same thing right here. Everybody thought that was going to hold. Once we broke, it fell down 30%. So let's go in between there. Let's say 27%, just to kind of go in the middle of that. So if we break this low, what would that one get us down to? Let's say 27%. Then we're going to be looking at the 12 to 13,000 range before another bounce. And that is a good possibility. And then we get a bounce back up to close to the 17.5 area. Maybe not hit it, just like we didn't hit here. We didn't hit here. And then continuing down from there. So that's what I'm looking for. As you guys know, I think it'll be a false bottom. If we do hit that 75 and then we'll get a rally after that, people will swear up and down it's the bottom. If you didn't see yesterday's video, make sure you check it out. I went into detail on that. So let's take a look at what's going on in the immediate time frame, right? So this looks like a rising broadening wedge. A break of this 25.6 range, depending on how long it would take, obviously this rises. But a break of this range and a retest for support, then I think it'd be a good time to long to between 28 and 31,000. But if we could just roll over right from here, looking at the RSI looks like it is just, getting ready to roll over. We may get up a little bit higher. Let's put the fibs on here. Put our fib levels just on this little move. And right now we're getting rejected at the 0.5. Our golden pocket area is at 23.9. And then we have 24,250 for our 0.786. Look in these areas for major rejections. The RSIs are flipping up right here, but that really doesn't mean much. We've seen that a few times before and just leading to more downsides. So this is the major trade area, though. A break of this top, good swing trade to the upside. A break of this bottom, great swings trade to the downside. Let's look at these targets. So if we are to come up here and break the top of this rising broadening wedge, then we're looking for this 31.2 range, but we have to break the 25.6, 25.7, depending on how long it takes, right? And then if we come down here and we break this low on the bottom, our first target's going to be the 14.5 range. And then actually you're going to want to watch the 17.5 range, but like I showed you, there's a good possibility that it doesn't even get a bounce there. But if we do, get a bounce at 17.5, look for a bounce up into this area. And guys, we'll be keeping track of this whole thing, so make sure you're subscribed, and we'll go from there. But this is the bear flag, you know, measured move down to that $75,000 to $8,000 range, $7,500 to $8,000. But this is what I'm looking at here. Until we're out of this area, there's no crazy reason to be worried that Bitcoin's not going to shoot up to the moon and do a $10,000 candle here. None of that stuff, guys. So relax, sit back. The charts will explain what is going on. And again, keep an eye on traditional markets, DXY. Don't just zone in on Bitcoin and try to read it from there. You have to look at the markets as a whole. Like I said, the DXY is looking pretty damn bullish here. So we'll see what happens today. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, smash those thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tick those notification bells. And guys, the links down below are all trusted links by me. A lot of people were asking me about VPNs. I have a VPN down there with a huge discount. It is Pure VPN. Definitely check them out. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys.